Shalom, shalom. Giving honor and praise to the Most High Yah and the Son Yahweh Shai. Coming together on this Wednesday class to get edified in the name of Yahweh Shai. And Yahweh and his Son Yahweh Shai. Here in Dallas, but around the world, man. And the thing is that a lot of our people being caught up and being justified in wickedness, man. And a lot of our people justify wickedness, man. Some of our people trimming their ways and kind of touch on some of the stuff and trying to do with the wicked, and also trying to find a solution thereof. First scripture that we're going to is Romans chapter 13 and verse 11. Yeah, I agree with that.
The book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 11. And down in that, knowing the time. Sleep.
See, that's one thing that we must do in Israel, man. The Lord said it's high time to wake up out of sleep, man. And a lot of us days are waking up out of sleep. We wake up out of the slumber that we in. And our mindset that we think looking at ourselves as being, oh man, I'm 100, I'm a real nigga, I'm this and that. Look, it's high time to wake out of sleep to know who we are, Israelites, according to the Bible, man.
And those that's not in the truth and just now hearing about it, is the thing about it is knowing that you are asleep or that we were asleep.
That's right.
You got to know you are asleep to wake up out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than we believe.
He said, now is our salvation nearer than we believe. Because a lot of us don't understand how close the salvation is, man. Someone trim my way, well, I get it done next week. And guess what? The Lord catch you in the middle of you trim your ways, and it ain't gonna be enough for you to make it to the kingdom. We got to make sure every day that we walk in this walk, man. Like Paul said, I die daily. And a lot of our mindset we should have to go to that mentality. Things that we're doing wrong, we should be correcting and moving forward past those things and putting those things behind it. Putting on our new man or our new woman or our new child. Let's go to
jump down to verse 14.
Go ahead,
Chapter 19.
Verse 14. But put ye on the Lord Yahweh Shai.
Most High, he's telling us, put ye on Christ, man. Put us on the commandments, man. Read on up.
And make not provision for the flesh.
That's the part a lot of times we want to focus on. Make not provisions for the flesh. Make not excuses for what you're going through. You know what I'm saying? The things like I just touched on, our jobs, wives, husbands, children. We can't put excuses on these things outside of doing the work. That's one thing we cannot do. Read on up.
To fulfill the lust thereof.
To fulfill that lust, because like we said, we know brothers and sisters deal with different type of lust. Sexual lust, spiritual lust. It's not always just about the physical, but guess what? You can't make it for either the physical or the spiritual.
That's right.
We got to be full-fledged ahead at doing this work, man. Brothers and sisters as well, and the church. Go ahead, Captain.
Let's go to Proverbs chapter 17, verse 15, right quick. Go to Proverbs chapter 17, verse 15.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 17, verse 15. He that justified the wicked.
What the Bible say?
He that justified the wicked.
Now this is going to he or she that justified the wicked. Because a lot of times people say, oh, my wife, man, she just need a little time, man. No, she wicked. If guess what? If your husband going off, he wicked. If your wife going off, she wicked. If your child going off, they wicked. If your mama going off, they wicked. If your friends going off, they wicked, man. It ain't no else around it. If they Israel, they going off, they wicked. You know what?
He that justified the wicked, and he that condemneth the just.
And he that condemneth the just, those are one and the same. You justifying the wicked or you condemning the just, man.
Even they both are abomination to the Lord.
And the Lord said both of them are abomination to him, man. So we cannot be justifying the wicked in no kind of way, because the Lord said, if you justifying that thing, man, you're abomination to him, man.
And those are the ones that's talking about people in the truth.
That's right.
They do this. They don't eat no pork. They don't want to celebrate no Christmas. It's for the kids. I don't understand. They justifying the wicked.
That's right.
And they condemning the just, the people that's doing it.
That's right. Who look at their clothes? They look at their garments. They look like power, right? Yeah. You can laugh all you want to, but it's royal apparel. They don't know that our Lord and Savior wore these things, man. Guess what, man? The Most High wore garments, man. Come on, like a lot of time, people they laugh at stuff they know not, man.
And we could be the one that's saying, "Oh, look at that garment. They look like homosexual." Because we getting our clothes and our style from homosexual. Versace. All them, man. We go out and kill each other for some homosexual clothes.
Yeah.
But then talk about Israel garment. Some royalty, some real royalty.
That's right. Drop down to verse 28.
Verse 28. Even a fool, when he holdeth his peace, is counted wise.
What the Bible say, man?
Even a fool, when he holdeth his peace, is counted wise.
Man, he said, even a fool, if a fool hold his peace, a fool he will make himself wise. Man, you don't know. Guess what? Sometimes people open their mouth and you don't really know how foolish a person is until they start talking. A lot of times, even a lot of us men that you look at, these men in Israel, guess what? They look like men. They sound like men. They walk upright like a man. But when you talk to them, they sound like they act like little children. When some of these women, they look like women. They got a nice body like a woman, talk like women, smell good like a woman. Guess what? And you talk to them, they like little girls, because their mind just not there yet. And with me, and their mind is just not there yet, man. But sometimes when a person when they hold their peace as being and they know they're a fool, they hold their peace, they show themselves as being wise, man, because they ain't gonna utter out all the bull crap that they know I'm gonna say. Read on up.
So we can learn from a fool.
That's right. Everybody can learn. Read on up.
And he that shutteth his lips is esteemed a man of understanding.
Because guess what? How are you gonna learn something? How do you think you're gonna learn something when you always run your mouth, man? Sometimes we got to shut our mouth and just sit up and learn, man, because things can be justified all you want to. But it's always, man, always gonna seem right in his own eyes every time anyway. Give me Isaiah chapter 5, verse 20 right quick. Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 20.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 5, verse 20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil.
See, the thing is, this is not just for Israel. This is not just for the sake of people looking at a carnal state of mind. It's even looking in the spiritual state of mind when we watch the news and we see things happening as in them trials that's going on. And there's so many people have backlashes of what's going on. They have their own vain opinion of what's going on. They see things going on. Come on, man. We cannot play the role like we don't see what's going on. Everybody see what's going on. And you got coonery up in the police department. You got coonery up in high places, and all of those people. Guess what they trying to do? They trying to see how many people woke and how many people sleep. How many people if they gonna rise? We're gonna do this right here. See if they gonna rise up. We're gonna do this again. They're gonna see if they rise up. They're gonna continue to keep doing it. That's what their whole plan is, to see who woke and see who's not. Because they know if they throw a rock in a pack of wolves, the one to holler, they know that's the one they hit. And they trying to throw a rock every time they can do it. But we got to have our spiritual eyes on to see. When we see that in the news, guess what? It might be to the world, it might be a tragedy, but to us, we know what's going on. We know Zechariah 11:5. We know what's going on with it. Read on up.
Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put it darkness before light, and light for darkness.
They put darkness before light and light before darkness, man. Read on up.
And put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter.
Because, man, ain't nobody want to bite into an orange and taste a bitter orange. But when you justify the wicked, that's the same as that, man. You flip-flopping the roles of what it's supposed to be. We cannot get our minds seared on that thing, man.
And that's another thing, man. That's like now. If you speak on homosexuality, you look at it like something wrong with you for saying that. This is what happens in Babylon. It made everything that the Most High says evil, they turn around and say it's good. And that's not so, according to this Bible. He said destruction unto them that do that. And a lot, that's like even in the hood. The gangster who murdered, he the hero. When that Negro was evil.
That's right.
And we rap about him and everything else. And that we need to cut these things out in Israel.
That's right. Read on up. Verse 21.
Verse 21. Woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes.
What the Bible say, man?
Woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes.
Because there's so many of us that do that, man. We be wise in our own eyes. Well, I guess you'll get down on everybody else, but to yourself, you go do the same thing that they do. But you ain't gonna get on yourself about it. But you get on everybody else about that thing, man. We cannot be, look here, same energy that you bring to them people, you need to bring it to yourself, man. Because a lot of time we always, man, a lot of time Israel, guess what? Well, I know this, I know it, but I don't know if I can do it. But then you see somebody else and you're trying to correct them. Man, come on. A lot of us think we wise in our own eyes. But when we open up the Bible, filter everything. If you filter everything through these scriptures, you'll know a lot of stuff. Guess what? It don't line up with the Bible. That's why you got to keep reading. If all your stuff don't line up with the Bible, you wouldn't have to read it. Because everything you do don't line up with the Bible. That's why you continue to read to make sure you lined up. Read on up.
Woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes, and prudent in their own sight.
And prudent in their own sight, man. Read on up.
Woe unto them that are mighty to drink wine, and men of strength to mingle strong drink.
And woe unto them, that's to take it in the philosophies, man. The drink America's cup, man. A lot of strong men that's so-called strong in this truth. Guess what? They're gonna get pulled out in these last days too. We got to open our spiritual blinders up, because I'm tell you something. In these last days, when you start seeing leaders of camp get pulled out, don't be surprised. Do not be surprised, man. Because guess what? Some of these people, they still have to do their job. When their job is complete, guess what? Some of these people be about it. Just like me, I'm talking about this same brother brought him in the truth. Is he what he is? He gone, ain't he? Yep. He ain't in the truth no more. Same brother brought me in the truth. He ain't in the truth no more. I was so scared to talk to the brother. I asked so many questions to ask the brother. It was just unreal. When I talk to him now, it ain't no light in him no more. Don't be surprised. Don't be dismayed at those signs, man.
And you have to be careful too, because that line, we're gonna get the precept on that. Give me Micah chapter 2, verse 11. Because like we say, a lot of lies and falsehoods, not having the correct understanding of the scriptures, can get brothers and sisters pulled out as well too. That's why we ask brothers and sisters, y'all got any questions about anything, come to brothers, man. You know, it should never be a reason why our brothers think that they know something or are not really sure about something. And like we said, we don't have that answer for you. Guess what? We'll counsel together till we come up with the answer. But we want to be careful about this, because the Bible talks about literal wine, but it also, wine is a similitude for something else. Read that, Captain Maccabees.
2:11 or 32?
Yeah, 2:11.
The book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 11. If a man walking in the spirit and falsehood do lie.
Do what?
Do lie.
Read on now.
Saying, I will prophesy unto thee of wine and of strong drink.
Read on now.
He shall even be the prophet of his people.
So this is the precept to let you know that, guess what? Sometimes wine is talking about philosophies and doctrines of men or of the other nations. That's not with this Bible, or that goes contrary to these scriptures. So we want to be careful about the things, the doctrine, the wine that we drink, because it may not be pure. That thing may be defiled. Even though it might sound good coming from a brother that sounds so good when he speaks, we always want to go back and make sure it's lining up precept upon precept. Go ahead, Art.
Con on it. Let's go back, verse 23.
Verse 23, Isaiah chapter 5, verse 23. Which justify the wicked for reward.
Now, that's another point we want to touch on. It's justifying the wicked for. A lot of times we see things on TV You cannot get caught up in it because a lot of them people are paid actors.
Mhm.
Don't get it twisted. They are paid actors, man. Because when you put down all the evidence, when you go through all the trials, we like all of us, I'm pretty sure we done talked about this hundreds of times, tens or 15s of times, on how stuff that we had never seen happen in a courtroom, it just happened there. Man, come on, man. But then the next time something else happened, oh, you give her 10, but I'm gonna give you capital murder.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
And we see it all up in, we know that main place, the Christianity church, man. We constantly see it up in there. They steady justifying the wicked so that they may receive reward. Because we know TD Snakes, they ain't up in there rebuking people for being in homosexual activities. Like you're rebuking the sister for wearing them the dresses that they just wore from the club the night before. You know, or even worrying about pants or eating pork or all these things, because a lot of times he feeling his belly full of that pork, you know. So they not justifying the wicked because a lot of times they get reward for that. They don't want to see their people lead a congregation because it's gonna take out of their pockets, you know. So they justified the wicked. They let it slide. The same thing the scribes and Pharisees was doing. Don't get on them. Oh, it's Corbin. You know, let it slide. But the scriptures say, guess what? You're going to punish them for that, man.
That's
and
right.
rebuke them sharply so others may fear. Go ahead,
Let me get a precept on that also, that what you just brought out. We go back to Micah chapter 3 and 11. Micah chapter 3, verse 11. The heads thereof judge for reward, and the priests thereof teach for hire, and the prophets thereof divine for money. Yet would they lean upon the Lord and say, is not the Lord among us? None evil can come upon us.
That's what they always saying too. That's a great precept that we always pull out there on the streets. They thinking because they getting all these riches and having these $1 million homes, they thinking that the Lord is really with them. No, the Lord is not with you, because guess what? You're not doing his will. You're not teaching the people the law, statutes, and commandments. You're not teaching how people got into this situation. Better yet, you're not teaching them how to get out of the situation.
That's right.
So the Most High is not dealing with them. Even though it may look good right now, guess what? Those riches won't last forever. That's what we tell people. Lay up treasures for the kingdom, man. Those are the riches that's going to last forever. Go ahead, Art.
Let's go back. Let's finish it out.
Okay, well, justify the wicked for reward. That's 23, verse 23. And take away the righteousness of the righteous from him.
And we take away the right, because guess what? That's what, if it's even possible, they will fool the very elect. Some of these leaders that we got set up in Israel, some of these just not the very elect. And some of these people just don't be surprised. Some of these people get snatched out, man. The thing is, you can see them going on. You can watch their teachings. You can see the spiritual ceiling that they done already hit. Don't be dismayed at it. Even though, guess what? When brothers and sisters don't get counseling, and brothers and sisters don't take counseling, and they don't seek counseling, a lot of times, what? A person will go off.
Guess what? Even leaders do too need to take counsel.
That's right.
You know, that's one important thing. You are not above counsel, like we always like to bring up. King Solomon, with all the wisdom and knowledge that the Most High endowed him with, even he had counselors, man. So if he, the top knowledgeable man ever, how much more than you, man? Come on, man. We got to come up out of that. And we know when brothers is dealing in pride. Persons, brothers, we got to shake that thing, man. We got to.
That's like people were saying when the trial, oh, they got a black judge. She ain't playing. She looking like she's gonna get this girl murdered. Oh, they got 6 black jurors. Come on, man. Like I said, don't be surprised, man. Them people, they up for reward too. Oh, she finna work on her next big case that she finna get. She gets off stand there and hugs the murderer. Oh, and she's still a black. Oh man, yeah, you better watch out, man. These people, they getting what they want, man. They know what they doing, man. What's up for us to not fall into the trap, man? Everybody was on, oh, your black judge, what she finna give her? She finna bang the gavel on her. Yeah, she banged the gavel on her for 2 or 3 years. For murder.
And let's go and get into it, man. Give me Psalm chapter 64 and verse 4 right quick. Psalm chapter 64 and verse 4. Say, man, don't be dismayed at the stuff that's going on around us. A lot of times we got to use our spiritual eyes. Even, man, if you sitting there watching the Spider-Man movie, guess what? Have your spiritual blinders on it too, man. Guess what? We can't get so caught up in worldly things that we don't have. In all aspects, guess what? The Lord says, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all these will be added to you.
And even like the saying that we say to brothers and sisters, stay in the spirit. Guess what? That's meant to be taken literally and spiritually. Always be looking at things in the spiritual eye, man, because this is what we constantly at battle with spiritual warfare against the powers of the darkness of this world, man. So even like we watching movies, we already seeing how they trying to interact Israel against Esau, or Israel against the world, or it always has something to do with Israel 9 times out of 10, man.
Come on, man. Read it up.
The book of Psalms, chapter 64, verse 4. That they may shoot in secret at the perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not.
Because guess what? That's how they're killing us. They shoot us and they don't fear. They don't fear it at all. Because all day, every move, guess what? We out here playing checkers. They playing chess with a clock. I don't know if you know how to play chess with a clock, but they out here playing with a clock. They racing time because they know they time short, man. We don't know.
Man, it's funny because it says that. It says that fear not. Because the main thing that they shooting all of Israel is they saying what? I fear for my life.
That's what they say.
And the Bible says they don't fear at all. They don't fear. They fear not. Verse 5, they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily.
Mm-hmm.
They say, who shall see thee?
That's what they saying. They trying to say, who gonna see us? Which one of y'all woke? They looking and they doing secret counsel to say we gonna do this. Hey, we gonna put one of these brothers to death. We gonna see who see us. Do the Most High see us? He don't see what we doing. And guess what? His chosen people damn sure don't see what we doing. We don't see nothing.
Like we were talking about going into your think tanks, your Planned Parenthoods, all these different type of Edomites or other nations that come together and think of ways to keep us in sin. That's what it ensnares privily. They commune together, communicate with each other. Man, how can we do this? And we wonder why so many liquor stores in our neighborhood. You know, go ahead. That's
the same way they did in Chicago when they put the guns in the alley, and that was a snare that they set in that alley.
Yeah.
And then the fact of the matter is, our people picked it up, took the bait, and killing each other. Boy, but it would have been a whole different story. They'd have picked them guns up and went at them. Y'all would have seen they just had the military around there.
They would.
Sleep. That's when they plotting on.
Mm-hmm.
You getting your sleep on, they plotting on you at night. They not getting no sleep unless they done got a devise a plan to get you under the, you know what I'm saying, under what you're supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Not keeping alive. Let me get a precept out.
Go ahead.
Proverbs chapter 4, verse 16. Proverbs chapter 4, verse 16. For they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fail, to fall. So they ain't not even getting no sleep because they up devising plans at night. Hey, let's get over this. This is another way we go get them. We go kill this boy. The next day, you're going to go show him, hey, we still run this thing, and we go think of a way to, it ain't hard. No, they drug them. We'll throw it on them. You know, that's number one topic to put up on the so-called black man. You know what I'm saying? They ain't getting no sleep at night. But we end up laying up, getting our rest, man. They thinking of ways to plot against us.
Yeah, and you're right. That's exactly what they did with this other brother. All of a sudden, they thought about what they could do when this brother went and testified, and that shooting looked like it was going to be back towards his case that was going on. And what they do? Oh yeah, hold on. Say he got shot by some drug dealers. Say make him look like a drug dealer. And then here are these other three. Them dudes probably did some other stuff, and they just took it. We'll take this instead of that if y'all have let us off on the lower sentence. What? That's what they did, man. It's a scam. This whole system is a scam. And then they had a black chief, another black police officer, stand up and give that report.
You know, what did he say?
What did he say? He said, beware of what you say. Basically, he's telling y'all, watch what you say because you'll be next.
Man, look here.
He told you, beware of what y'all say when y'all put that out there that we are doing this.
Man,
stuff.
Guess what? And they need to be well what they say, man. Because according to Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 19, guess what? We recording this day against y'all too.
That's right.
Because guess what, man? Ain't nobody fearing y'all, man. Guess what? Every time them cameras come on, every time we hit them blocks, every time these Bibles open up, guess what? We ready to die for this thing.
That's right.
Don't get this thing twisted, man. I don't know why all of these so-called higher up. Man, look at the Bible tells y'all whole plan, man. Only thing we got to do is work what we supposed to do.
Is do God's plan.
That's right. That's right.
That's where our strength lies. Like we say, even when we read in the book of Nehemiah, guess what? Even with brothers and sisters, we understand what the church. But having fear, guess what? That is sin according to the Bible, man. So, brothers, we got to come up out of that fear spirit. Guess what? We already know the things that's gonna happen. Some of us might get put to death in this truth, but guess what? The dead in Christ gonna raise first, man. We always say that to keep that on brothers' mind, to not fear that thing, man.
That's right.
Especially when we know we got next, man. Go ahead,
Let's go to Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 1. So I know you brothers love this precept, man. No problem. Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 1, man. I brought that out just for brother, because I know it's one of his favorites.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 30 and verse 1. Woe to the rebellious children.
The Bible said, woe to the rebellious children, man. Read on.
Said Yahweh Yahweh, that take counsel, but not of me.
They said they take counsel, but they don't take my counsel. Read on now.
And that covered with a cover, but not of my spirit.
So guess what? A lot of you people, they not working in the lower spirit. Guess what, man? When these brothers and sisters, I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. When these brothers and sisters, they not walking in this truth, don't get dismayed of what's gonna happen to these brothers and sisters, man. Because there's gonna be a lot of weird stuff gonna be happening to people all around us. And guess what? If they ain't wearing these fringes, if they ain't keeping these commandments, if they ain't trying to seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, guess what? Don't be surprised. And when you walk outside and you see 500 Negroes on a tree lynched. Can't be surprised, man.
Yeah, you can't. And that's something serious because, matter of fact, give me Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 17 right quick, man. This is a precept that kind of lets us know that, man, because I know at times we take it to heart when one of our brothers gets shot down by the police, but you know, that's just the love and the concern we have for our people. We got to understand a lot of times they ain't keeping the commandments, so that's righteous judgment that's brought upon them. But we hate the system that it fell behind. That's the point. Read that out.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 32, verse 17. And the work of righteousness shall be peace.
And the work of righteousness shall be peace. So we know righteousness is the keeping of God's commandments, according to Deuteronomy 6 and 25. Read on up.
And the effect of righteousness, quietness, and assurance forever.
And that the effect of righteousness, the effect, what the result of you keeping the commandments is, guess what? It's quietness and assurance of your life. It says forever. So that's one thing that we got to take in stride, man. This is the only assurance that we have of our lives is if we are keeping the commandments, man. Go ahead,
Let me bring a precept out.
Go ahead,
The book of Matthew, chapter 7, verse 13, and land me back off the brothers. Like I said, we shouldn't get dismayed as we see people get dealt with. You know, I had to learn that lesson myself. But we got to remember what the scriptures say. This is not for everybody. Everybody not going to accept this thing, neither is they going to do the things that's required to get into the kingdom.
7
and 13.
The book of St. Matthew, chapter 7, verse 13. Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction.
So if it's wide and broad, that means it's going to be a lot more people going that way than the way of righteousness. And we can see that with our people in the world, in the Christian churches, and so many other avenues that lead to destruction. Read on.
And many there be which go in thereat.
So it's telling us many there be that's going to go that way. So we shouldn't be surprised when we see it's going to be very few. We say many are called, but few are chosen. So it's going to only be a few of us that's going to get this thing and go the way we need to go. Read on.
Verse 14. Verse 14. Because straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it.
So the scriptures already let us know, man. it's gonna be a lot of our people that's gonna go down that road of destruction. So we got to gird our loins and be solid with the Lord and understand that the Most High gonna deal with us. Just like even our closest relative, we love them to death. That's flesh, man. They got the same opportunities we got, and when we trying to tell them, and they think we're a joke. That's between them and the Most High. If you even try to bring them this word,
And that's what a lot of people doing today. You got them going in Christianity, Islam, and then you got a lot of women leaving the church instead of coming to the truth. And they heard a lot of them heard the truth. They going into witchcraft and we're going to go back to the old African ancestors. Okay, that's why they sold you practice, and that's why you over here going through what you're going through.
That's right. Let's go back to Isaiah chapter 30, verse 2 right quick.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 30, verse 2. That walk to go down into Egypt.
That walk to go down to America.
That walk to go down into Egypt.
Read on.
And have not asked at my mouth.
Guess what? Ain't a lot of these people no counsel of the Lord. A lot of these people going in the counsel of America, man. In America antics, in the things that they bring forth. Read on up. Yeah, read on up.
To strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh.
But strengthen themselves in Donald Trump. That's what they doing. To strengthen themselves in America's government, in they lawmakers, man. Read on up.
And to trust in the shadow of Egypt.
Because that's what they trust in American might. They trust in America 100%, man. A lot of our people trust in America. They think that this kingdom gonna last forever, man. A lot of our people really do. And they got our people fooled. They just think, oh man, we the greatest nation in the world. Who gonna stop us? Yeah, the Most High, and it's gonna send His Son to stop all of this thing, man. We don't
like the brother trust in America so much, he got a Camaro.
Yeah,
a sports car out of it. He trusts this. But what happened when the fuel pump go out in that car? Then America ain't no good no more. I got a sports car.
And then you know they got them when they said us. We got a strong military. When we go to war, how is it you, bro? This ain't your stuff.
That's right.
They don't ask you no questions when they finna go do some work. When they finna go just bomb somebody, they ain't ask you what you cool with.
And they going to bomb people that didn't do nothing to you.
Exactly.
Ain't got no effect on you. But and then we just go bomb them, but it ain't gonna help you out. Guess what? You got to go to work tomorrow, and them bills still got to be paid, no matter who they blowing up over there.
That's right. Read on up, verse 3.
Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame.
Now, just for the strength of America gonna be their shame, man. Read on up.
And the trust in the shadow of Egypt, your confusion.
So that's what. There's a lot of people gonna be confused, man. This is their confusion, man. This is their confusion right now. Because they not believing in our God, they believe in America's report. They don't believe in our God's report, man.
And that trusting in the shadow of Egypt. A lot of our people think they Egyptians. I want to be in Egyptology. You trusting in the shadow of the real Egypt, not there no more. That's just a namesake. The real Egyptians not there. The Lord destroyed that for us. And they trusting in the shadow of paganism and pyramids that's crumbling right now.
And that last part is what you really always want to focus on. Your confusion.
That's all. Just for the
We confused about when we steady get shot down in the streets. We confused about us not being able to be equal with them in their society. We are confused about Becky making more than us while we doing more at the job than them. That's the confusion that sets in when we don't understand who we are or who our God is, or more importantly, the scriptures. Because the scriptures tells us all these things. Go ahead, right?
And they confused when it comes to this word. When we try to give them the truth, they confused because they trust in America. And what America's always talking, the philosophers of America, it's like, well, now I can see, because what? Some stupid man you don't even know, some scientists done said this, some scientists done said that. They tell you all this poison medicine is good for your body. And you see the commercial, it might heal your foot, but then you got your liver damage. It just go down the liver damage. Near death, sleeping.
One thing right, but it's gonna take 7 other things away from me.
And what's so bad about it? You can go outside and eat poison ivy, gonna do better for you. Cause that's God's releasing. That's gonna probably hit you.
Go back. real, man. Go Psalm chapter 10. Psalm chapter 10, man, verse 8, man.
All right, let's get. Where we at?
Psalm chapter 10, verse 8, man.
All right.
Go Psalm chapter 10, verse 8, man.
Psalm chapter 10, verse 8.
Mhm.
He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages.
That's what Esau and all the other nations do. They sit in the lurking places of all the villages, man. Read on up.
In the secret places do he murder the innocent.
That's what they do, man. In their secret place, guess what? They murdered them. They murdered the innocent. Then they come back and they bring you a false report.
Mm-hmm.
They've been doing it since the beginning, man. You take Amalek. You take Amalek, man. When Saul fell, when Saul died, what happened, man? He came back and told King David, I did it because I seen that he was gonna die. And he told me to go ahead and do it. Man, King David called one of the young men and said, hey, man, come on here and kill this stupid fool.
And you know why he went back and lied? Just because he know who the next king.
Mm-hmm.
David, I'm finna go ahead and get right on this. Be right in his back pocket. Man, you don't know. David follow the most high.
I'm gonna tell you why David did that. Give me a Psalms 105. Hold your precept. Give me Psalm 105, verse 15. This is why David did this. This is why David did this. Because David understood. He understood the law, statutes, and commandments.
Mm-hmm.
That precept, I think, is 1 Chronicles 16:22, something like that. Read that out.
105,
Verse 15.
verse 15. The book of Psalms, chapter 105, verse 15. Saying, touch not my anointed and do my prophets no harm.
But that's the problem. They can't touch the anointed. We God anointed people, man. You can't touch us, man. The other nation don't supposed to put their hands on us, man. But the Lord used the other nation as our sword. As the sword to put on to whip our butt, because to put us back in the shape. But they got to pay for it because they be still God's anointed people. They still got to pay for it. Even though, guess what? Because a lot of times, they look at the scripture, don't lie. The pride of their heart will deceive them, man. They think that they can go and harm us. Ain't nothing gonna happen to them. But yes, it will. And everybody think that they got away with something. Now, they ain't got away with nothing. We ain't got away with nothing. The Lord just letting it build up. Go ahead, Go back to 1 Psalm chapter 10 and verse 8.
Verse 8, I'll read it again.
Mm-hmm.
Psalm chapter 10, verse 8. He sitteth in the lurking places of the village.
That's what police, they got the police in our neighborhoods, man. We don't.
In the secret places does he murder the innocent.
They sit in their drawers eating ice cream and somebody come in your house and kill you, man. We don't.
His eyes are privily set against the poor.
That's all they're set against, man. The poor, man. We are the poor, man.
And it's also showing you a lot of times you hear in black, they just find a black person to cover up the murders that they did.
That's it.
And that's why you got a jailhouse is full of innocent black men that ain't did nothing. That's why they don't run DNA through the system, because man, you know how many people they got to let out. And you know, if they really ran the DNA system, the white men be all locked. Boy, it'll reverse the whole prison system.
Mm-hmm.
And that poor that it's talking about is who? The poor of Israel. Man. Let's get the precept real quick so brothers and sisters can have it. Isaiah chapter 14, verse 32. I'm going to read it real quick. So yeah, because we don't have much time. The book of Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 32. What shall one then answer the messengers of the nation? That the Lord had founded Zion, and the poor of his people shall trust in it. So that's a precept to let you know that Israel is the poor that it's talking about. Poor and really financially poor too. So hey, it's not talking about all poors of the other nations, man. We got to get it out of our heads that this Bible is an inclusive Bible. This is an exclusive Bible. Go ahead,
Comment on it. Yeah, verse 9. Read on.
The book of Psalms chapter 10, verse 9. He lied and wait secretly as a lion in his den.
That's what they do, man. What a lion waiting in his den. Guess what? Anybody step in the lion's den, guess what? They gonna get ate to shreds, man. Read on.
He lied and wait to catch the poor.
That's what he do. He lied, wait to catch them, man. Read on.
He do catch the poor.
And he will catch the poor. They said he lying away, and he will catch the poor, man. He will catch us out there. Because guess what? A lot of time when it's 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning, guess what? You should be at home, sleep, man. You should be at home. What is y'all doing out there anyway? What is y'all doing? You should be you shouldn't be out here anyway. You should be at the house chilling. But guess what? When you're out there, when you're out there late at night, guess what they got there doing? They lurking to pick whoever they want to pick off. Freaks come out at night, and yes, they do. Read on out.
Police come out.
Then police come out too.
When he draweth him into his net.
Uh-huh.
And that's what is that? Drug dealers.
Selling drugs.
All that stuff. That was his trap. They wait for you. And they saying, we gonna catch you. We gonna catch you. I don't give a damn how Mr. What's his name? Big time drug dealer. Name anyone. Nino Brown.
Yeah, and that net, guess what? That's also a debt net. Because a lot of times they catching our people, what they do, giving them tickets. A lot of times we can't pay. Down there full of warrants, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's also a flip side to spiritually break us and to really financially break us.
All the way around, man.
You go down in that courtroom, boy, you don't think white people get tickets. Like, God, they just don't get none, huh?
That's right. Read on now.
He do catch the poor, and when he draw him into his net,
Uh-huh.
verse 10, he crouched and humbled himself, that the poor may fall by his strong one.
Because that's what they do. They humble themselves around our people. You know, will I be saved? Look here. White, you ain't gonna be saved. You will not be saved. According to Isaiah chapter 14, you won't be saved. The only way you be saved is, guess what? Is by slavery. If the Lord don't put you in the lake of fire, you won't be saved.
Yeah,
Now come ask the Israelite, would you be saved? You ask her, ask the Israelite, would you be saved? We're gonna tell you no.
And them the ones that be at the restaurant. What's the problem? What's going on over there? Acting like they humble. Like, oh my goodness. Them the ones that call the police.
That's right.
Them the ones that call the police on them. Next one.
Is it verse 11?
Yes.
Read verse 11.
Verse 11. He had said in his heart, God had forgotten.
Mm-hmm.
He hideth his face. He would never see.
Now that's what they say. They think God ain't seen none of this. Guess what? Because they ain't never paid. They ain't never paid for the slavery they didn't already put us in. They ain't paid for none of the murders they done did. They ain't paid for feeding our babies to alligators. You can go to the list is forever. They ain't never paid for none of that. But they will pay for it, man. That's why they saying God don't see this. Why ain't help y'all out of this situation yet? But guess what? That's why we wait on the Lord, man.
And Pope came out with that 400-year prophecy too, that they thought was gonna be 400 years. Because the Pope had made an announcement saying the Most High won't be going. He don't think the God is coming back anyway. Look like he's not coming back. So they've been watching the same thing, like, okay, we can look like we're gonna get away with all of this. But it ain't gonna happen.
It ain't. Give me Amos, man. Give me Amos chapter 5, verse 18, right quick. Go on, get up out of here, right quick.
Read this precept right quick. Talking about the lions and the lions here. The Lord gave us advice how to stay away from that thing. 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 6. Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of God, that he may exalt you in due time, casting all your care upon him, for he careth for you. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. So he gave us the understanding of what to do to stay out this thing. Like the brother said, why would you be out at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock at night? We know we'll be out at them hours. So we got to
believe.
So yeah, man.
Yeah, give me Amos chapter 5, verse 18.
Verse 18.
Mm-hmm.
The book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 18.
Mm-hmm.
Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord.
He said, woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. Man, this is letting you know, man, we got to make sure that we humble ourselves down, man. We got to just wait on the Lord. Even though we see all these atrocities and all stuff happening around us, man, we just got to wait on the Lord. Because guess what? We can't beat y'all. We can't beat them physically. We don't have, guess what? We want to buy some bullets, we got to go to you. If we want to buy some guns, we got to go to them. If we want anything that protect ourselves, we got to go to them. They can stop us right now, cut our water and lights off, close all their grocery stores, and we have to scavenge for ourselves, man. They can do this stuff right now, man. But we got to wait on the Lord. Read on up.
To what end is it for you?
Go ahead.
The day of the Lord is darkness.
said the day of the Lord is darkness, man, because he gonna bring darkness to this world before he bring us into the light, man. Read on up.
And not like.
And not light. Read on.
As if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him.
And a bear met him. If a man flee from a lion, then a bear met him. Read on.
And went into the house.
So he went into the house
and leaned his hand on the wall.
And then what happened?
And a serpent bit him.
Then a serpent bit him, man. This is the day of the Lord, man. So look, it say woe unto that thing, man. Because when you ain't keeping the law, statutes, and commandments.
And guess what? The Most High is the King. Y'all ain't seen nothing. We might have thought we seen the movies in Final Destination. Guess what? The Most High is the King of Final Destination.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we got to understand that, man. He got a plethora of things he could pull out of his armory, man.
And there ain't no running. That's what he's saying. Ain't no running.
Ain't no getting away.
Run over here. I'm running from the line. I got away from the line. That bird done got you. Run in the house. Oh boy, I made it to the house. Put your hand on the wall, then a snake done bitch. Ain't nothing. You ain't getting away no matter what you do.
It's like people like saying, man, I can't wait till the Lord come back. But you out here still selling drugs. You still out here running numbers and prostitutes, whatever the case may be.
Still out there
Say,
breaking
nah,
down
you don't
church.
want that day. You really don't know what you're saying.
I'm gonna get this last precept, man. Matthew chapter 26 and verse 40. The thing is, man, we see all these things around us, man. We can't justify the wicked, man. We can't justify it. Guess what? Man, that was a good brother, man. Look here. The Lord doing this thing. All praise to the Most High, man. Do your thing, Lord. All praise to the Most High. Do your thing, Yahushua. All praise to the Most High. Let him do his thing, man. We can't, guess what, man? These people out here, man, these people ain't following law, statutes, and commandments. Guess what? They just how the cookie crumble, man. Some things just happening to them. Read it out.
The book of St. Matthew, chapter 26, verse 40. And he cometh unto the disciples and found them asleep, and said unto Peter.
Now this is the house shot when he was about to get ready and give himself up, man, give his body up, man, for the ultimate sacrifice, man, for us, man. And he came to the disciples. He had told them, man, y'all just chill right here, man, and y'all just wait for me. But they kept falling asleep on Christ, man. Read on up.
What could ye not watch with me 1 hour?
I said, dang, man. I told y'all to sit up here and chill. Y'all can't watch with me for 1 hour, man. Read on up.
Watch and pray.
What did the Lord say?
Watch and pray.
That's what we supposed to be doing in the last days, man. We can't justify no wickedness, man, or what people going in. We got to watch and pray, man. That's our job, man, as Israelites, man, to watch and pray. We see those things going on. Pray for our brothers and sisters, man. Guess what? That's in this walk, and the ones that's waking up. Pray for us, man, that we can be diligent in this walk and stay the course, man. Read on up.
That ye enter not into temptation.
Yeah, we don't enter into those temptations, man, because guess what? The wiles of this world is in front of us, man. Read on up.
The spirit is indeed willing, but the flesh is weak.
Because the spirit is willing, but the flesh sometimes is weaker, man. That's why we got to fast and pray for that thing, man. That's the whole point that we got to get to, man. Give me you got a law up?
Yeah. It's a pivotal law, man. Give me Leviticus chapter 6, verse 2. Going into not a good thing to lie against your neighbor. And we know according to the scriptures, your neighbor is your brother of your nation, of your people. The book of Leviticus chapter, okay, go ahead.
The book of Leviticus chapter 6, verse 2. If a soul sins and committed a trespass against the Most High, and lie unto his neighbor,
And do what?
and lie unto his neighbor,
Read on now.
in that which was delivered him to keep, or in fellowship, or in a thing taken away by violence, or had deceived his neighbor.
So the Most High don't look at that highly when you dealing deceivably with your neighbor. Like say your brother, your sister lying to him, have something that's theirs and not giving it back. Read on now.
And it says, or in fellowship too.
Or in fellowship, exactly.
Or have found that which was lost, and lied concerning it,
And did what?
and lied concerning it.
Read on now.
I swear it falsely,
And swear
and
false.
swear it falsely in any of all these that a man doeth, sinning therein.
Read on now.
Then it shall be, because he has sinned and is guilty, that he shall restore that which he took violently away, or the thing which he had deceitfully got, or that which was delivered him to keep, or the lost thing which he found.
So when you're dealing unjustly with your brothers and sisters, make sure you take care of that. Repent of that thing and give it back to them and deal justly with your brothers and sisters.
And those that's on Facebook, man, thank y'all for tuning in. Those on YouTube, thank you for tuning in. Those on Facebook, go and subscribe to the YouTube page, man. Those on YouTube, follow us on Facebook, man. Those that have been giving to the GoFundMe, all praise to the Most High for you brothers and sisters that donate. That money will be used for a good cause, man. And hopefully one day we will be to a city near you. And with that, say shalom.
Shalom.
Any brothers and sisters got any questions or anything they want to add? Anything? Go ahead.